The success of a team often comes from their ability to change very little over time. But what about a team that had nearly 50% of its starters, those mainly responsible for bringing that success in the first place, their backbone, leaving the club, and yet still this team remained consistent? That's the case with Cruzeiro, back-to-back defending Brazilian champions, who displayed perhaps the best football scene in that country over the last 2 years, who at the start of this year were almost entirely dismantled, but find themselves today, or in fact tonight, with the possibility of advancing to the semifinals of the ever-obsessive Copa Libertadores again after 6 years. Tonight, the Mineiros will be playing the return leg of the quarterfinals at home against the Argentinians of River Plate, whom they not only hold a historic advantage over, but have a very good chance in eliminating them once again after leaving the Argentinian capital with a crucial victory last Thursday. This current system of long-standing coach Marcelo Oliveira, a main strength of theirs, was made possible by replenishing those losses with signings of about the same level in quality, including the priority of rescuing the career of striker Leandro Damião, who was basically ridiculed at Santos last year, and now less than 6 months later, he's seemingly back in the form that saw him called up to the Brazilian national team by turning into the team's main reference up front with 13 goals in 19 games, and more importantly, regaining his confidence. Everyone knows Cruzeiro has a top-quality roster, but after last week's complicated win against a physically tough River Plate, we were reminded that this team has a huge amount of fight in them as well. It took them a bit to get our attention. They didn't have a dream start to 2015. But this past month, we witnessed an impressive transition, one I believe to have officially started in the round of 16s when they not only eliminated São Paulo, the most successful Brazilian team in the Libertadores, but also retired the international club competition's career of their legendary goalie, Rogério Ceni, who will officially end his 25-year tenure at São Paulo in August. Cruzeiro had a lot to do with that, which brings me to another noteworthy strength of this side. Cruzeiro's very own legend, in between the posts, goalkeeper Fábio. At the team since 1999, with over 600 appearances and more than 15 titles, who's rightfully considered to be the team's motivational pillar and undoubtedly the beating heart of this team's psyche. Also, another major point of this ongoing success is bench quality, a vital element for success, especially in Brazil, where injury-prone teams play upwards of 80 games per season. For example, Henrique Dourado, Leandro Damião's immediate substitute, was last season's second top goal scorer of the league, while at Palmeiras. Starting Uruguayan midfielder, De Arrascaeta's substitute, Gabriel Xavier, another youngster who's become a sort of talisman or the trustworthy second-half option for coach Marcelo Oliveira. In fact, it was off his assist that we saw Marquinhos score the winning goal last week to become the first team to ever beat the two traditional Argentinian sides, Boca and now River Plate, in their own grounds. In these past 2 years, Cruzeiro were especially strong at home, where even in the stands we saw them record their best attendance numbers in almost 30 years. But more importantly, and something that they lacked last season, is the ability to put on good performances while on the road. The tables have somewhat turned in 2015, where Cruzeiro have a 67% success rate away from the Mineirão. Things could very well be falling into place for a third South American title for the Raposa. All that's left to see is if these factors can contribute to a happy ending come August, because based on all their hard work these past years alone, this side more than deserves to lift the Copa. Thank you, and until next week.